I'm Sarah Jo, your host here in the Diamond Lane on Classic 107 in Winnipeg. And friends, we have three very special guests in the studio. Andrew Balfour, Mel Braun, and Jeremy Dutcher, curator, conductor, and composer. Actually, curator and composer, and then conductor and composer.
There you go.
Of Camerata Nova's Taken, happening Saturday and Sunday at the Ukrainian Labor Temple. Welcome, gentlemen, here.
Thank you.
It's a really exciting program. This concept. Let's just talk about this really quickly. Andrew, as curator and composer, you're contributing something, as you so frequently do to Camerata Nova's concerts. Always so brilliant to hear your music, whether it's at New Music Festival or during the regular season. Tell us how the concept of this program came together.
I think that this idea of the word taken is such a powerful word, and particularly in connotation with language and cultures. And I feel that Mel and I have been stewing on this idea for a couple of years. And the thing is, we wanted to find the right artist to make it a total collaboration rather than just a one composer work. So we started talking about, taken culture, taken identity, taken language, taken spirits. And I started to think about, who could we work with? And actually, Jeremy came to us as a gift, I think. You could almost say that the wind blew him our way. And because I didn't know of him until a mutual friend of ours mentioned him. And then I thought, that would be a great idea to collaborate with somebody I didn't even really know, but has a different relationship with their First Nations heritage. So I felt that it was a natural kind of progression. And this idea of having different perspectives of the idea of taken was powerful. And to put it in a choral context, I thought was very unique too, even for Camerata. So, and Mel is definitely the man to be able to put this all together. And to even have Jeremy and his piano playing and his singing, and we have Lindsay Knight, Eekwol, with the hip-hop. And, hip-hop and Camerata Nova, you don't necessarily think are natural collaborations, but it works so well.
Conceptually, yeah.
And we have Madeline Alakarialak, who is really a gift to us, again, in terms of her voice, her wisdom, her spirit. We all came together for the first time last night in terms of people coming from different parts of the country, and it's really exciting.
Well, Mel, why don't you speak to us about the sonic content of the evening? Like, we have this conceptual approach of cultures being whether amalgamated or dissipated or diluted, in these different ways. Tell us how that sounds in this program.
Well, it's all. I mean, it's a smorgasbord is the wrong word, but there's tremendous variety in the program. The program opens with Jeremy doing a couple of Maliseet songs, and then we will join him for the work that he wrote for us. Okay. And this work, Jeremy can talk to you about it, but he gave us a lot of freedom. So he sent me a score and said, I don't want the choir singing this. Here, choose from these notes and these notes. So we went through and made a lot of decisions about colors. And this is a choir that can do drones and overtones and all kinds of stuff at the drop of a hat. Mm-hmm. So we made a lot of decisions about Jeremy's piece. So you'll find everything from a really sonorous cello and interesting chords in the piano to dueling sopranos on high Cs.
Oh.
Really cool stuff. Yes.
Right.
So, and then we moved to Lindsay's piece, and she's going to do two things. We wanted to feature her first as a solo artist. So she normally sings with drums, piano, and keyboards.
Right. And she's from Saskatoon
originally. She's from Saskatoon,
right.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's talking about a culture being taken. So I decided, I thought it would be a good idea in the collaboration that we would accompany her instead of keyboards and drums and all this. So she's doing one song on her own that we're going to improvise an accompaniment based on what she normally has.
Cool.
And then for the second piece that she sings with us, I wrote a background track. So I incorporated the drum songs she sent from her drumming group, mm-hmm. and quotes from 13 different pop songs, one for each region of the country, because it's the sesquicentennial.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Right. So people will hear like a couple of Guess Who quotes. They'll hear, all of a sudden, there's Neil Young. How did he show up? So that's part of the fun, too.
Cool.
And she'll be rapping over this. So that has a sort of a jazzy feel to it. And then Andrew's piece, there it feels like it's a combination, we described it today as hard, clean edges representing what the North is like. Because Frobisher, the story about Frobisher coming up there is true, and taking Inuit back to the court of Queen Elizabeth, that's all true. But we're just trying to imagine what it would feel like to come to this country that you think is the Orient with spices and all this. And then you've got rocks and pebbles and not much else, sky, right? And so a lot of hard, clean edges in the music. And then Madeleine comes in with her traditional stories. We never know what keys she's going to sing in because she just does it orally.
Right.
So we're, again, improvising accompaniments behind her. It's really interesting.
So
it's
cool.
fascinating.
Why am
stuff.
I not in Camerata Nova? Sounds so awesome.
Yeah, so the sonic palette is huge. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, so I think people will really enjoy it.
Oh my gosh. Well, Jeremy, let's have a quick chat with you about the commission for this concert.
Sure.
So how were you approached in this process, and how did it kind of usher you through?
Yeah, so it came out of the blue, and I'd been chatting with Andrew just via email through a mutual friend, and just sort of been like, hey, and it actually culminated in meeting both Mel and Andrew at Aboriginal Music Week last February.
Oh, fantastic.
Here in the city. I was presenting some of my own compositions at the Winnipeg Art Gallery. And they were nice enough to come and be front row center to witness it, and so we got to chatting after that, and a lot of the music that I do is combining traditional Maliseet music, which is from New Brunswick, where I'm from,
right.
With sort of the classical background that I have from school. So. Blending these two aesthetics, I think, really fit quite well into this program. And so they approached me, have you ever thought to write for a choir?
And is this your first work for vocal ensemble?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, congratulations.
So last night's rehearsal was like so surreal, like having, for the first time getting to hear people sing what I've written was just like an otherworldly experience.
Let's stick with that for just a
Sure.
moment. Okay, so we are in the studio right now with Andrew Balfour and Mel Braun, curator, composer, and conductor and composer also for this weekend's Camerata Nova presentation of Taken. And we've also invited into the studio Jeremy Dutcher from New Brunswick, who has written a brand new piece and his first choral work. This is so exciting. So what is the difference for you, between writing for instruments and writing for voices?
Yeah.
Let's go into that.
My first sort of set of compositions was actually as a singer. I'm a tenor, and so so a lot of the compositions that I've written thus far have just been for piano and voice.
Okay,
and voice to be performed by me as well. So it was very much a personal experience. So to be able to write for an entire
group
to
of
have
voices.
the palette of voices that and the flexibility that Camerata Nova allows.
Yeah.
I think for me, I kind of just ran wild and I had all these ideas and certainly when we're engaging a topic like Taken. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about Indigenous identities. That's a very personal and complex issue to engage with, right? And so for me, I really wanted to talk about language, and that was a huge portion of what I wanted to speak to with this work, because where I'm from, there's only about 500 people that speak my Indigenous language left. Oh. And I'm one of the few young people as well. So a lot of the work, both within this piece and also within the solo work that I do, is really focused on singing in the language. And making sure that is front and center in what I do, and it's been great to try to coach this choir through some of the Maliseet and
We had fun yesterday working.
That's awesome.
Everybody has different IPA.
Yeah. We're making it work. We're making it work, and it's going to be lovely.
Resourcefulness is key.
Of course.
Resourcefulness is key.
Of course.
Brilliant. We have been in the studio with Andrew Balfour, Mel Braun, and Jeremy Dutcher, all collaborating in this magical program, Taken. Camerata Nova presenting it at the Ukrainian Labor Temple Saturday, March 4th at 7:30, Sunday, March 5th at 3 p.m. For more information and for tickets, go to cameratanova.com, or of course you can always go to our website, classic107.com, for more info. Gentlemen, it is such a pleasure to have you. I'm really going to try and make it Saturday. If I weren't singing Sunday, I would be there both days, I'm sure. It sounds just
It's going to be fun.
Fascinating.
It's really, really going to be. And it's that thing where you have tragedy beside comedy, right? Like so many great works of art. Just wait till you hear Madeleine making fun of white men.
Yes.
This is the best. Yeah.
Oh, so fantastic. I cannot wait. Once again, CamerataNova.com, Classic107.com. Camerata Nova's Taken, happening this weekend at the Ukrainian Labor Temple. Go, enjoy, imbibe the experience of this magical thing. Okay.
You betcha.
It's always a pleasure to have you guys. We'll see you soon.
Yep.
Take care.